Okay. Is this on? Oh, it is. Okay. So, sorry about that. 1 1 2 2 3. Jesus Christ! Well, am I lagging that much? That may be a bit better. Bitrate. Why is? Hold on, that's a bit bad. Why is it? Why is it like all fucky? I will be back in a moment. Something is not right with the settings, so I'll be right in a few moments because I see the stream is lagging quite a bit. So yeah, and also I'm streaming on way higher resolution than I should be. So yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Now it's you're flipping joking right now. Can I? Automatic is a bitch. Right. I'll restart it for one more time and I'll be just back in a few moments. Stupid thing work. Right, it should be fine, I think. It should be better at least. Anyway, yes, hello, hi. My name is Mantazzo, and yeah, I just wanted to do a small discussion of things because I thought, well, I think it's worth having some discussion about the new upcoming Call of Duty game, the Black Ops 4. Just before we continue, let me just check the broadcast if the voice quality, if the voice isn't too low, you know, and also if it's not too laggy or anything. So yeah, let me just if the voice isn't too okay, that should be fine. Hopefully the voice should be fine. I also see the chat, so it should be also okay. Anyway, so yeah, sorry for the small technical difficulties. I'm currently using the experimental player.me desktop application, and at first it didn't want to let me stream, and when it let me, automatic settings set it for me to 1440p. So yeah, it's a bit but yeah, anyway, I had to do some custom settings, so yeah, hopefully this should be fine. But yeah, anyway, so will be talking a bit about Black Ops 4 and some of my thoughts about it. So yeah, if you're watching this as a video, so kick back and just relax and just listen to my ramblings, I suppose. But without further ado, let's get on with the discussion. So yeah, on Thursday we had Black Ops 4 announced live, and we even had the live stream and everything here on YouTube. So and also, by the way, this stream is YouTube only. I am testing a bit different varieties right now because I was feeling really down last few days, but today I'm a bit better, so yeah, I just decided to do that. But yeah, anyway, enough talking about my things. It's not important for anyone, but let's talk about the main thing. So on Thursday, if I'm correct, the Black Ops 4 was announced, and the game. And then, well, I wasn't really looking forward to the game because if I heard the game correctly, it was just something of well, one of a kind, I suppose. It was just interesting to listen to discover what will be introduced with this game, because As far as we know, we knew that it was Black Ops 4, but I was actually a bit. Let me just. Okay, that should be a bit better. But actually, I was a bit strange about it because, well, you know, technically a sequel to the game should be set in the future. Well, following the standard and usual logic. Like, for example, Black Ops 1 was in 1960 something. Don't quote me on that. The Nam War, I suppose, or before that. Anyway, so that was 19 something. So after that, we had Black Ops 2, which was split in 19 something and 2020. Jesus, sorry, pardon me. And then split to like 2025, which was near future but still acceptable. Then we had Black Ops 3, which was way further in the future, and 2065. So by that logic, I was thinking that it would be logical for Call of Duty if it's Black Ops 4 to be set even more in the future. But my first thinking was, but wait, didn't people want Call of Duty to be back, just, back to its roots and not, jumping and everything? But technically, if they are doing Black Ops 4, that would mean it wouldn't be in the past, right? And they actually did jump it into the past with the Black Ops 4. Which is one thing I was actually quite annoyed, but I was actually more disappointed with this because that just, and sorry for my language, that just pretty much fucked up the timeline, because now you had 1, 2, 3, which was chronological, then Black Ops 4 jumps now back in between 2025 and 2065, so an average 2045, I suppose. But and I just looked after that, and I was looking to what game will offer. So no thrust jumping, no everything. I was okay with that because, well, they were using that logic that they were jumping back in the something, well, back in time, I suppose. So I was okay with that. And at first, multiplayer looked pretty good, but I instantly discovered what it was. It was pretty much rehashed Black Ops 3, but with the removed thrust jumping and wall running, because pretty much everything looked like Black Ops 3. Almost even the models looked like Black Ops 3 ones. So I was a bit skeptical about it, and I'm even still skeptical because, as far as I've looked, well, of course, it looked interesting, but it heavily felt like Black Ops 3. And again, we went again with specialists, and now even bigger change, which is not automatically recoverable health. It was experimented in World War II single player, and I was okay with that because single player is a single player experience. And I'll get into single player in a few moments. But yeah, it was introduced in single player, and I actually liked it in single player. But I thought that method wouldn't go for Call of Duty in multiplayer because it was just not Call of Duty, if that makes any sense. But then they introduced that actually the what should I call it? The health packs are also in the game. So I was like, okay, but what the hell? They didn't even make sense at all. And also, that's my roommate who just turned on the light. But never mind. Yeah, I was just like, wait, what? Because health packs, I felt a logic leap through this. They said they were trying to do something new to the multiplayer, and You know, they were just saying they want to do something new and experiment with multiplayer and well innovated, but that looked strange because, and that still feels strange, probably because it's not Call of Duty multiplayer. To For Call of Duty multiplayer, you're just used to regenerating health and well, not really paying attention to just basic stuff, if that makes any sense at all. But basic stuff like like caring about your health. You'll know that you'll hide in the corner and you'll just regen to full health. But well, they are trying to make it even faster with this. So, but I don't know. That feels a bit unnecessary in my books because it doesn't feel like Call of Duty anymore. That feels like I don't know what. I was okay with that concept for single player because that was single player concept and that felt like single player concept, which was good and that was actually new. But this is not new. Well, except it technically it is new, but for multiplayer, but not overall for the series, which I don't know. And also, again, a logic leap. So if the game is between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, then where the frick regenerating health was? Well, where the fuck did the regenerating health gone between 2025 and 2065? That made zero sense to me, and that's only the first point. I was actually pretty pissed off, and Black Ops 4 seriously pissed me off. So yeah, if we're talking about that, so multiplayer, well, as I said, it looked like Black Ops 3, just rehashed, removed a few features, and just some stuff removed and everything, but yeah, I will, okay, but yeah, it just felt, I don't know, just not really new. It just felt, well, the same Black Ops 3, which, well, was kind of praised by some, but for me personally, I didn't like it. I didn't like Black Ops 3 multiplayer. Just it, I don't know. It felt just too fast, maybe, or just not natural, or just. Now, this is probably a bit biased since I own the Advanced Warfare, but personally, I enjoyed the Advanced Warfare multiplayer more. Probably because at least it had gun variations and even some dynamic events and stuff. And well, exo jumping, you can say it was a bit cheesy sometimes, but at least you knew what you were getting. And you also had control. But you always knew how much you were likely to jump and how much to the left to the right you can dash or do anything. Well, do everything. I think it was just fun and it wasn't like that advanced. Like for example, we had controllable thrust jumping or wall running or breathing underwater, shooting underwater, like that complicated concepts. We didn't have that and we didn't need it. And it was fun. Advanced Warfare, you may not agree with me, but Advanced Warfare was at least fun. And again, I might sound a bit biased, but that's just me, probably. But anyway, I was really skeptical. And also, I should mention, this is everything looking from a perspective of a PC player who played pretty much every single Call of Duty, and I enjoy playing Call of Duty occasionally. Because it's just a fun game to kill the time or just relax or do stuff. Well, just enjoy myself, I suppose. But yeah, it just, I don't know, it felt a bit strange, if that makes any sense. Because, well, it's just, I really wanted to like Black Ops 3, but I didn't. It just felt unnatural to me, but and looking at this, it was fun because it looked like we were finally getting some like really something which should be even in some previous games, which should be added. It should have been added, like with the current stuff. Like for example, in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Now you might say it didn't need. It just needed some graphical updates and just some fixing. It doesn't feel like a remaster. It just well, I think the game needed not a remaster but a remake. Just like for example, improved like movement, like for example sliding, and maybe like having some advanced movement like from the current gen games, which was, I'm sure it was possible to do, but the the remaster version was just graphically improved, and that's it. And well, boxes again. So yeah, it wasn't praised, and of course, no dedicated servers. That's even bigger bullshit. But nevertheless, let's move on to Black Ops 4. So yeah, I was watching multiplayer, and some of the features were good. Like for example, the gun changes looked interesting, but then again, most of the gun changes looked again only cosmetical. So yeah, I was a bit skeptical about that. It's again only cosmetical changes and not really something you could unlock in the game. And also they introduced, like they said, something new, like they had variations of some special gun mods or something like that. But I don't know, it didn't look like it actually had any sense in it, because well, it mostly looked cosmetical. It didn't really do good thing. But yeah, I don't know, from what I've seen so far, multiplayer just was Black Ops 3, but Black Ops 2 might simplify to Black Ops 2. I guess Black Ops 2.5, I suppose. That wasn't something like I would call Black Ops 4. I don't know. And I mean, Black Ops 1 was one thing. Black Ops 2 was an improvement of Black Ops 1, and I was okay with that because that was more in the future. Black Ops 3, again, more in the future, but Black Ops 4, it's not Black Ops like some Black Ops 4 which introduced even something more new. It was just Black Ops 2 and 3 mixed up, which you might say it is good, but in my books it isn't. It is not Black Ops 4. It's like I said, it's Black Ops 2.5 at best, and that's not a good thing. But yeah, nevertheless, we got with the multiplayer. Then of course zombies. Well, since I'm not a zombie player, I don't play zombies at all. I really don't like playing them because it's just not for me. I don't like the game mode. I prefer the original, like Modern Warfare 2, like the Spec Ops mode, because that was challenging but fun and diverse. And yeah, zombies, well, looked interesting, but then again they introduced the third map, which was again rehashed from previous games, which probably again annoyed me. While probably blind COD fans will say, "Ooh, yes, a remaster." No, again, we are getting the same maps yet again, but probably with a different cost this time. But yet again, the same map again. This is like Nuketown. We're getting the same map over and over again. I think that same map was always also reintroduced from Black Ops 2 to Black Ops 3. Now, I'm not sure about that, but probably. So, don't quote me on that, please. But yeah, then again, it looked kind of interesting, but maybe a bit too much. I don't know. Again, well, time will tell, I suppose. And then, of course, the icing on everything. The blackout. which well, I was completely disappointed with that. Probably because I was disappointed in Activision because that was obvious they were trying to catch grab on Fortnite's popularity. And now I'm not saying Fortnite is bad. Well, I suppose people like it because it's one of the most popular games of all time right now, I suppose. But I don't know. The hype will die down eventually, and if Epic doesn't calm down with their updates, and while some people may say it's good that they're introducing something new every week, pretty much. I would say it's not good competitively wise because, like for example, you would take PUBG and they're trying to do things competitively, and I will adore them because not every game can be competitive, and uh, competitive games should have potential. And I feel PUBG has potential, but yeah, of course, you might bash them for not fixing the things in time, but they're still doing a pretty good job, I must say. Although I don't know PUBG, so it's everything from streamers I like to watch. But yeah, then again, I was actually surprised about everything. Nevertheless, Blackout, again, I was looking at the presentation and I was again, well, I don't know, saddened, if that would be the correct naming, because it was just bad, I suppose. It was just same old characters rehashed into a massive battle royale. And since I know programming, I have some interest in, like for example, game engines and stuff. And I was actually surprised if they are trying to pull this off because the game engine is sometimes struggling with the current games. Well, not really, probably because it's a bit optimized. But then again, I don't expect more than 50 people on the game mode at once. Well, at one game, I suppose. I don't expect more than 50. They haven't said the correct number, well, the accurate number, but I think people shouldn't expect more than 50 because with that game engine, I think it's trying to ask a lot if for anything more than 32 players, because that game engine they're using, it is an old game engine. It's a Quake engine. Well, at least for the first Call of Duty. Then the Quake engine was heavily modified for the next games, and I think even nowadays they're still using the Quake engines, but heavily modified Quake engines. So, and I think some of the guys I know who are really experienced programmers and they are into this stuff, I think they can agree with this. So yeah, I'm just, Blackout is not something I would play because you are paying $60 for a battle royale, and they say they will be diverse and anything, but in what diverse? You will introduce kill streaks? Then yeah, I don't think that's a good thing for battle royale. Kill streaks are not a good thing because this will differ the good players from bad players, and it will not be all about luck because battle royale is also something about luck. And they're basically trying to make this not luck but skill. And while I completely agree, it should be all around skill, but battle royale is not always about skill. It's also about luck. And PUBG does that pretty well, and even Fortnite does that pretty well. So don't know. It's a tough call. So maybe they'll probably do something interesting, but Not sure if that actually, just diversifies the things. And also, when you think of it, 3 years. I don't think this game was created for 3 years. More like two. And even 2 years, I wouldn't say it's good. More like the Battle Royale was introduced into this game very late in development. Now, of course, I'm not developing it or anything. I don't know any developers. I don't contact any devs personally. But I don't know. It just I don't know. Just feels like a cheap cash grab. When they're trying to cash grab as much as possible to get even more money, and that's not even that's not even the worst points. I'm not into those yet, and I'm already on 26 minutes. You see, the worst thing I felt was when they actually said we haven't prepared campaign, and I was left really, really sad and really angry, I must say. Now I know what I know what some of the news websites have already said, but they haven't said the full thing in their titles. Now I've been reading some of the new. Well, I was reading it fully, and yes, Black Ops 3 probably was complete. Black Ops 3 campaign was probably completed by only like 4 to 5% of people, and I wouldn't be surprised because if you have played Black Ops 3 campaign or if you have at least seen it, you'll probably agree that Black Ops 3 campaign was literally shit. I was actually completed it, but let's just say I pirated it because I wasn't really optimistic about the game, and I really didn't have a good PC right then. If you remember my old laptop, then you're one of the oldies. But yeah, I wasn't really surprised, and I was really surprised to actually complete the game, complete the single player, and I watched also the single player completed by Ali, and when he was still pretty decent to watch at least. Shots fired. But yeah, it's just that it was really confusing, and only like last year I watched like a video describing, talking about the campaign, and yeah, it's basically, if you didn't know, the first mission is actually the last mission of your character. And why does that? It's actually you did die in the campaign and in the second mission, and it's just that while reading your mind, you gave like like they say, your life flashes back to the. Wait, I mixed up. Basically, before you died, the second main character actually gave you his memories somehow. So you lived his life. Well, you looked at his life, while in the end you just died pretty much. So yeah, I don't know. It was I won't say it was bad. It was kind of interesting, but probably way too confusing for normal people. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed for previous Black Ops campaigns. Like first one was interesting with all the numbers. The numbers, Mason. What do they say? The legendary Black Ops. Black Ops 2 was also decent because it probably introduced interesting aspects to the campaign, that you could get multiple endings, and if you change a few things through the campaign, you would get a different ending, or you could get different things through your campaign playing if you would pay attention to the details. So I suppose that was interesting, but Black Ops 3, it didn't introduce anything interesting to the series, and I'm not surprised it was completed by 4%. By comparison, all other campaigns were completed by pretty much 20 to 25% of people, and you're basically annoying a fourth of your whole user base with not introducing half of the game, because I count campaign as half of the game. Well, probably because you could say I'm an old school player, or like an oldie, or like a classical player who. But I prefer single player games. I prefer playing single player games to have fun. And if the game doesn't have campaign, I don't think it's a good game. It's pretty much multiplayer only. So, and also I wouldn't be surprised, although they haven't said that the game would require always online connection. I guess that would annoy people quite a lot. I suppose. But then again, we're talking about Activision Blizzard. Nevertheless, okay, I was at that point when I heard there was no campaign, I was pretty annoyed. You might understand. But the main thing which pissed me off as a PC user when they said they're going for Battle.net platform exclusively, and they said they're going to utilize all of its features. You're shooting yourselves in the foot if you're trying to get your PC players back. Because they said all about PC performance, we're looking very much into PC performance and there's everything, yada, 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 yada. But they're missing the main point. If you would introduce everything on Steam, at least you would please most of your players. Because while I'm not saying that the platform is bad, I guess it's still inferior to Steam and even some sort of inferior to Origin and maybe even to Uplay, but I think everything is better than Uplay, but and again, shots fired probably. But yeah, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. Or probably they're doing that to either one, to cash in even more, and two, to prevent bad reviews. Because if you know Battle.net platform, there are no reviews of the games. You can't review them, and 3, there are also no forums, and 4, no changelogs. So you don't even know what the game update did, or or if it did, you don't have forums to consult with other gamers. Maybe they'll help you with something. And 5, it's still missing a lot of interesting features, like for example broadcasting. Steam does introduce broadcasting, and while it's not really that popular in Steam, it is still a feature available, and it's something worth mentioning. That's only one thing which is in Steam and not in Battle.net. Another thing which is there is regions, which is completely bullshit, I must say. While yes, of course, if you play in EU, then you log in into EU, and then you get only EU players. Of course, that might be a good thing, but the friend lists are also individual per region. So, for example, you would log in into US, you would have a completely empty and new friend list. What the hell is that bullshit, I must say. So, yeah. And they promised dedicated servers, they promised even mod support, but I don't know, they are doing, like I think BG247 said, they're doing nothing to actually help Call of Duty on PC. And yeah, after that, I was actually pissed off, and I even did write on Twitter, who the fuck thought that this was a good idea? Because it really isn't. Of course, you will get bad reviews in Steam, but that was happening for the past few years. But they are at least legit, because if you have played Call of Duty on PC, you must agree that all of the next gen games were just bad on PC. They were just bad. The last good PC game on Call of Duty was probably Black Ops 2. Well, even Advanced Warfare to some sorts. But or maybe Black Ops 3 because probably it was slightly saved by mod support and dedicated servers never came, I think, to Black Ops 3, which were promised, by the way. And also in Black Ops 3 it was promised, as far as it was said, I remember, that there won't be any guns in the boxes, which, well, basically loot boxes. It was pretty much promised that there won't be any guns in the loot boxes, but there were. So I think we can just agree that it is just a cash grab at this point. Call of Duty at this point is just a cash grab. Of course, they will earn tons of money even this year, but if you at least think of what you're buying, I think if you're a PC player, I would say skip this Call of Duty. It's not worth changing platforms and sacrificing campaign, which is one of the most important parts of Call of Duty all the time, at least for me. And it's not worth paying, again, full price for the game to get half of the game. And let's not forget, you will have to pay $60 to get all the DLC maps. And let's not forget, if you'll probably want some of the DLC guns, you'll have to pay for the premium loot boxes to get them. Because in the normal loot boxes, you'll probably get you'll have, for example, 0.5%, 0.1% chance of actually getting it. Because fuck you, that's why we want more money. Sorry it turned into a rant, I know, but too long didn't listen version. If you're a PC user and you might be looking into new Call of Duties, I would say buy Black Ops 2 or the last one, Black Ops 3, because even World War 2, I played it a bit on beta. I didn't have the time to play it on the free weekends, but it wasn't really that bad. It was something, I must say. It wasn't that bad as Infinite Warfare was, but it wasn't as good as it was in Modern Warfare 2 times. I feel like most of the next gen games are just half-assed. It's just that. And also, fuck Activision for not making single player. And best example, God of War. I know it was talked about. I don't have any consoles. I haven't played, but I heard the story was really, really good. And it wasn't even a AAA title. So, again, as I said, if you're a PC user, too long to listen version, you might want to skip on this Call of Duty and wait at least until next year. Although, I would say, if you're any thinking Call of Duty user, you shouldn't buy in the next game. Now, I know it might sound biased, but I had actually played through all the Call of Duties, even the old ones. Well, except the first Call of Duty, but I've been playing the Call of Duty games for years now. Starting from some Call of Duty 2 way back, 10, maybe even more years ago, but I didn't even have basic experience of PCs. Then I have played Call of Duty 4, and it started off with a demo on local gaming newspaper, which also had a DVD included. So I tested out the Call of Duty game, and it was pretty fun. I got a full version of it. I tested it out. Well, of course, all of the games were pirated. The only 2 games I've actually bought of Call of Duty I'll get to them later. But yeah, since the prices were still high, the $60 mark and well, €60 mark, and payments are really low, and well, I was like 14 then, or even less when I played them at first. So well, not really not really 14, maybe even 13 or 12. I don't know. That was a long time ago now. But yeah, I don't know. Of course, I pirated it because we didn't have the money, and I wanted to try them out. I really wanted to try out a lot of expensive games because, well, of course, when you don't have the money, you just have to pirate, and the piracy wasn't even that big of a thing. I didn't know about it that much as I do now, and I must still confess I do pirate still quite a lot, but I started to buy games when I can on discounts because, well, economically it bettered up a bit. But nevertheless, um, so yeah, I started off with Call of Duty 4. Actually played some with Carl Call of Duty World at War. Haven't completed campaign. Haven't even actually played Call of Duty 4 multiplayer ever, I think. I should play it someday. And someday maybe. But yeah, haven't actually completed World at War because I think when I was installing it, something got corrupted, and then I was loading and it always would get errors when loading, and then I think I just uninstalled it, and then I never finished it ever. Then of course I played the Modern Warfare 2, and I played it a lot. I played even the multiplayer versions of Alter IVNet, 4 Delta 1. Currently I'm playing IW4X, which is heavily modded version of Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. And when you think of it, how much time has passed since the release of it, and how far we have progressed with it. Then of course I have also played Black Ops. Haven't played multiplayer, but I think I heard that it was pretty good still. Then I own the Modern Warfare 3 version of it because I got it very cheap at that time, and I invested money on it, and I wanted to buy it to be legit because I knew it was pretty cheap to get. Like, I got it for like €15, and it was worldwide version. So yeah, I was pretty okay with that. And yeah, it's still sitting in my library. Although I think I have played through. Let me just check how many hours of it I have. I think I was at that time when I wanted to cheat in some games, and I didn't want to rank up too much and everything. So I think I have in multiplayer 80 hours. In single player I have about 2, but I haven't completed single player. I have completed single player on the on the pirated version of it because I didn't instantly bought it. I waited. But yeah, nevertheless, I have the game, so yeah, played through it, enjoyed it. Now I think I hacked my levels up to max prestige level 80 or something. But yeah, it was actually probably the last best version for PC, because while the multiplayer wasn't really perfect and it had some cheese, I mean, for PC players, at least it included dedicated servers, which is a huge thing. You might not say, but connections are good nowadays. Even then, having dedicated server is pretty good thing to have, I must say. So yeah, as I said, so Modern Warfare 3, played through it a lot. Black Ops 2 also fully completed it. I think I played through campaign twice. I even have a series of multiplayer back on my channel where I actually prestige once. Sorry, just have to drink some stuff because I've been talking for about 45 minutes now. So yeah, I thought this will be a bit shorter, but yeah, I probably started a bit late, probably because I was busy. I pretty much arrived just an hour and a half ago. So yeah, you know. Yeah, Black Ops 2. Have actually played it. Have actually played a lot. Well, pretty much multiplayer on it. Um, then Ghosts have actually completed the campaign. Haven't actually ever played the multiplayer. And I don't know. Multiplayer seemed interesting, but probably the maps either maps were too big or the game was too slow. But it wasn't really that bad, I must say. Then Advanced Warfare, I was actually hooked up, and in Advanced Warfare, laugh it or not, I have in multiplayer 133 hours. And I would play it even more if there would be players nowadays. Because I just enjoyed it. It was actually a fresh gust of wind into the game, and Sledgehammer Games introduced a lot into this game. Like, for example, gun variants, the armory where you could test out your gun loadouts, their class loadouts, customizable kill streaks. Kill streaks are added into Pick 13, and the Pick 13 itself. The new uplink game mode, and there were a lot of new things. And I was actually interested in it because that actually looked interesting, and I have pre-ordered it. I remember. And I'm not even against it. I mean, like I said, I have 133 hours in multiplayer. I have 9 hours in single player, and it was just fun. It was fun to play, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I played it a lot. And Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3 didn't have it. At least completed single player, but then again, multiplayer was never in my books. I think I played beta and I even streamed beta a long time ago, but normal game never looked interesting after that beta. In Infinite Warfare, I haven't actually played single player, none at all. I haven't actually played multiplayer. Single player was pretty decent, I must say. After the flop of single player, which was Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare was actually pretty decent in single player. Although the additional missions didn't make any sense. Didn't make any additional progress into the game. It was just if you want to do them. So, yeah, that's a bit cheesy, I suppose. But again, they tried, but sadly they failed ultimately, probably because Battlefield 1 dominated that year. Then again, last year, World War II was released. I played beta, it was pretty fun. Multiplayer quickly died out, probably because, again, Call of Duty was released in the wrong time, and it was the time when Fortnite gained its popularity, I must say. And I must say, the game didn't look that bad. The Call of Duty World War II didn't look that bad. I haven't played the single player myself. I only watched the playthroughs because I just couldn't find the time to play the game myself. But and I should play it myself someday, and maybe even do a series of it on a live stream. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it was just the single player campaign, as far as I've seen, was actually interesting and pretty darn good. And after the failures that were Black Ops 3 and even some sort of Infinite Warfare, World War 2 had actually done a very good single player part, I must say. That was really enjoyable. Zombies haven't been talked about too much, but people said it was fun at first. Now it's just died down, probably because it's not Treyarch. And multiplayer, probably again, since it's not Treyarch, again, probably died out. And I'm not even surprised by PC popularity. It's dying down very quickly. And too long didn't listen version. I think Treyarch is going to flop with Black Ops 4 massively. On PC version at least. They're not introducing anything particularly new into multiplayer, even strapping out some features to and changing some features which is not in Call of Duty anymore. And then again, in zombies, same shit, different day, new characters, new stuff, but same gameplay. And then Blackout. Well, that may be new, but then again, it was at a cost of single player. But is it really worth it to sacrifice single player for Blackout, the battle royale? I don't think so, at least. So yeah, these are my thoughts, and yeah, well, for Black Ops 4 battle royale, I think it was sacrificed because there were reports that we will be getting more Modern Warfare 2 remastered. But then again, I thought it's not Treyarch that made it, so I don't think that would make much sense remaking it. So, well, doing it. So I don't think we are getting the game. Well, of course, I would like to be wrong, but as I said, the PC version of the Black Ops 4, I think, is going to flop massively. Firstly, because it's not a standard platform, so you have to get another platform, and that's not even a problem because there were a lot of Overwatch players or Destiny 2, but Destiny 2 flopped on PC again. Overwatch was decent, so no real complaints there. It was pretty fun, and well, reimagined Team Fortress 2, which pretty much worked, but now it died down, like most of the games do. And like most of the games do, and I remember that it was said that Overwatch will conquer down CSGO. It didn't. Now people say Fortnite will conquer down CSGO. I don't think it will, and I don't think any game can particularly match CSGO. And well, it was said that Rainbow Six Siege will conquer down CSGO. It didn't, because probably it's Ubisoft, and you can't really trust Ubisoft nowadays. Yeah, just overall, I was let down by the presentation of Black Ops 4 as a PC player, and well, they promised a lot of things, but my main problem is that one, it's not the correct platform, which the main platform should be Steam, and well, most importantly, that might also mark that the game will be always online, so you can't play it offline at all. Like if you don't have internet connection for some reason, like for example, your internet connection is unstable, you might even get kicked out from games. So, well, you might get kicked out from main menu because your connection was unstable. So, yeah, I am really not looking forward to it. And as a PC player, to PC players who might be interested, I'd say avoid it, because Call of Duty is dying, I must say. It is dying, and neither of the three companies are doing correct jobs to actually fix it and do what actually PC players want. And they want what? Moddability, dedicated servers, and optimization. Most importantly, and it being on the main platform, at it having 3 game modes: single player campaign, multiplayer, and the third one depending on the developer, and not the zombies, because even zombies get boring after the time. So yeah, of course, I'm sure pretty much no one will see this video unless it gets shared somewhere. That will be probably my downfall, and huge downfall. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, and as an old-time Call of Duty player who still plays Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the IW4X mod, which I think actually fixed the things well, which made the Modern Warfare 2 bad on PC, multiplayer at least. And it fixed the things, it made them better, it added mods, and it's a better one. Although the development has stopped because, well, developers have their own life, of course. But even then, what we have now is pretty darn decent. So yeah. Final words, I must say to all the buyers: don't pre-order it, because it is not looking as a good game. Unless it gets a public beta, then maybe it will change my opinion. But for now, I am not looking forward to it, and it is probably looking to be a massive flip. A massive flop, I mean, say a massive flip flop. Sorry, I'm getting tired about talking about the game after about an hour of streaming, and just talking without pretty decent stops. So yeah, I wanted to get my thoughts out, and it's probably still Call of Duty. Just last gen Call of Duty games, I think, were still better than the current ones we have right now, because I think most of the AAA developers are just now doing the cash grabs, and that's surprising. When not AAA games are doing better than AAA games are, and yeah, that's just surprising. So yeah, again, sorry for all the rambling, but I was a passionate player, but I don't think I'm pre-ordering any, or well, buying any Call of Duty game soon. It's just that I'm not interested in them. And PC community of Call of Duty is focused on the old games, which are still at least pretty decent, like the Black Ops 2, or Modern Warfare 3, or Modern Warfare 2, or even the old Black Ops, or even the old Call of Duty 4. It's just surprising how much the games haven't progressed. And like I said, I don't think Black Ops 4 will actually do well this year. And my opinion is that, and some people, and there will be people who will disagree with me, but I think that the game needs to actually take a break, and at least a year of a break, because they're just not doing anything new. And I was actually reading, and I thought the phrase was good, that they were actually leaders. The Call of Duty games were actually the leaders of innovation. They actually always invented something new, and they were actually leaders of PC FPS gaming. And I always thought that, but nowadays it is harder and harder to think about that, because PC versions are getting dumber and dumber ports of the console versions. And that's the main point. Ports of console versions. That's my main point with a lot of games. So, yeah. I suppose I should end this now, because I've been talking for about an hour, so... And I don't think I'm saying anything new at all. So, I'll repeat myself again. If you're interested in buying Black Ops 4, so I don't think you should do it just yet. Wait at least until autumn to get information about the game, and information about the battle royale, and more information about multiplayers and stuff. So yeah, I think this is where I will end, and let's just hope that the next game will be a decent one. Although, like I said, the series needs to take a break. The series needs to take a break, because they're just burned out. this is just a cash cow at this moment, and the series needs at least a year of a break, maybe even 2 years of break, because I am getting even more and more disappointed. And I was actually always looking forward to these games, and I am not doing that anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. This was a discussion live stream on YouTube about Black Ops 4, and hopefully you enjoyed this discussion. This is pretty much of a podcast, I guess. But I just want to get my thoughts out because I actually had a lot of thoughts throughout the weekend. Throughout the weekend I was actually rethinking a lot of things, and I was actually feeling a lot let down a lot, and not just because of the game, but just personal things. A lot of personal things happened, and a lot of bad personal things happened. So I was actually feeling let down a lot, and I was feeling psychologically very badly. I haven't felt like that in years, and I'm really talking about that in years. But then again, I had to actually suffer that, and thankfully I'm better now. I have just said, well, what happened has happened, and I have moved on, and yeah, just wanted to talk about things and get this out, because I always wanted to try out this thing of a discussion type of things, because it always felt like they might be quite interesting to, just listen and to have your own opinion, although I didn't expect it to be that long. So yeah. And again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for listening to me, if you did listen. So if you're looking for, and let's just do like this, if you're looking forward to Black Ops 4, then please like the video. Well, no, if you're not looking forward to Black Ops 4, please like the video. But if you're not looking forward to Black Ops 4 video, if you are looking forward actually, and you think I called bullshit on this, I called a lot of bullshit on this video, on this live stream. Well, technically still live stream, but when you watch this video, if you think I called bullshit on everything, please just leave a dislike and I would understand. Don't worry. And if you have your own opinion, please leave a comment. I will try to answer as soon as I can. Now, I know I am not really that fast with answering because I don't often check the creation studio. I should check that too a bit more often, but yeah, just a lot of stuff is happening and I just don't have enough time, and like I said, I was feeling let down. And I might do an additional vlog talking about this, because what was happening through the last half of the year, because there's some stuff to talk about, and there might be some serious stuff to talk about. So yeah, anyway, I should stop rambling and should get some drinks and should go watch Soviet Womble playing Divinity 2, which I occasionally play myself. And yeah, it was fun to actually try out this desktop app, if you watched the beginning. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, then make sure to tell me, and I might do more of these type of video, because I have stuff to talk about all the time, and I enjoy just doing some discussion types of videos, because I like to talk with people. Surprisingly, I was pretty much close when I started doing YouTube 2.5 years ago now, or maybe even 3 years ago now. Oh Jesus, time has passed by very quickly. Time has gone by very quickly when you think of it. Yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while now, and yeah, just stuff. And I always wanted to do these, but I just didn't want to try it out. I was probably just too scared to do these, and just not too much focus to try them out. And when I remember when I first started, I was very close, and I was pretty much scared, and my English, I wasn't really confident in my English. I'm not even confident at all right now. I am not a native Englishman. Uh, my English sometimes may be a bit bad, I know, but I'm trying to talk understandably, and I try to stick to the well known and well understandable English. And if I don't see things correctly, I'm really sorry. Like I said, I'm not a native Englishman. I just try my best, I suppose. Nevertheless, thank you for watching, and make sure to check out my other videos on the channel. I do various stuff, like I play Formula 1 games, I play some shooter games, I did a few campaigns, I did some other stuff, so make sure to check them out. If you're watching this as a video, I might leave some of the stuff right on the screen right about this moment, and make sure if you would like to see more of those, make sure to let me know in the comments, and subscribe to make sure when I do more. So yeah, thanks again, and as always, I'll see you in another stream. Take care and have a lovely evening. So yeah, and also let me know about the application, if it was a bad quality, good quality, or at least an acceptable quality, so yeah, as I said again, if you would like to see more of the things, check out the size of the screen, and here somewhere, and here, and if you would like to subscribe, check the middle side, the middle for the subscription button. I've been on Mantazzo. Have a good Sunday evening, and I'll see you soon.